Ladies and gentlemen, a question that we are asking. Mr. Siddaramaiah, why the media gag? Mr. Siddaramaiah, what is the government scared of? Standoff over Karnataka government's media restrictions in Vidhana Soudha has only intensified. Journalists have staged a silent protest near the Gandhi statue between Vidhana Soudha and Vidhana Soudha, alleging curbs on press freedom. Journalists who wore black shirts, black clothes, journalists who wore black masks. Dressed in black and wearing black masks, media persons held a symbolic sit-in, calling the move an attack on the freedom of expression. The controversy began after the Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms, or DPAR, issued a directive dated January 9th. The order instructed that journalists be confined to a designated area at the portico near the West Gate, also known as Kengal Gate, to seek restrictions from political leaders. Officials, however, insist the move is meant only to regulate movement and maintain security inside the high security legislature complex. The first question that really comes to our mind is, how difficult is it for a government? How difficult is it for officials to really ensure security with a handful of journalists inside the assembly? How difficult is it, government? The issue has now, of course, snowballed into a full-blown political confrontation. Leader of opposition, R. Ashoka, has called the directive an emergency in Karnataka, accusing the government of trying to hide failures and corruption. He further said, Vidhana Soudha is not the office of your Congress party, it is People's House. State BJP Chief B.Y. Vijayendra termed the order authoritarian, accusing the government of attempting to muzzle the press in the name of security. JDS leader Nikhil Kumaraswamy also slammed the move, questioning the constitutional basis for the restrictions and calling it an attempt to cage the media. However, this is not the first time media access within Vidhana Soudha has been restricted. Since 2018, successive Karnataka governments have imposed curbs on media access inside Vidhana Soudha, which has also been rolled back at multiple times. But it all started, remember, with the Congress JDS combined in power. Now, in 2026, the Congress government's directive confining media to the West Gate zone has reignited the press freedom debate. The Karnataka Union of Working Journalists has now demanded immediate withdrawal. The big question, is this regulation for more security and crowd control, as the government claims, or yet another restriction on press freedom? We come back to the question that we are asking. Mr. Siddaramaiah, why the media gag? Well, I'm going to be joined shortly by Mohammad Wajiullah. I'm also being joined by Satya Prakash, who's the Vice Chairman and spokesperson for KPCC, Ashok K.M. Gowda, who's the spokesperson for BJP, and Dr. Basavaraj, who's a senior journalist. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining me. Well, but let me just start with you, Mr. Basavaraj. What do you make out of this? Journalists out there wearing black protesting. What is this? Is this a security scare, or is this cutting off access to power, to corridors of power, because of the irreverent questions and the uncomfortable truths?
Sneha, I don't know why successive governments, be it BJP, Congress or JDS, I don't know why governments in Karnataka are becoming so wary of media and journalists in Vidhana Soudha. When you enter Vidhana Soudha, we can see they have written, they are actually engraved in stone that government's work is God's work. If the government's work is God's work, why not media be allowed freely? What we have to understand the context here. Why this recent order comes, I don't know under what rule this order can be passed. But anyways, the context we need to understand. Recently, we found stash of cash in a minister's office in Vidhana Soudha, and there was some gold found in an MLA's residence house, and all that. point is the people in power forget that they are in service. They are in a public building. They are trying to treat it as their private property. It is a public building, for public servants to work, and hence the media is there. Media has no business to be there if it is somebody's private property. We are there because we are serving the people there. So that's one. And
Okay.
Previously, if you remember the famous porn scandal, 3 BJP MLAs were caught, watching porn in the house. Immediately after that, the private TV channels were banned from recording house proceedings.
I remember that completely. Sir, allow me to get in Satya Prakash at this point. Satya Prakash, government or God?
Yeah, Sneha, Koshi, good evening. See, we also need to understand that security comes first. And I don't know, this is not a public building. No? It's not a public building where anyone can come in. It's a high-risk
private building
zone. One second, see, please wait. It's a high-risk zone where the Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister, the Executive and the Legislature is there. And it is a restricted entry. Any Tom, Dick and Harry cannot come in.
That's true.
You also need to understand.
That's true. Tom, Dick and Harry cannot come in.
See, please, wait, man. Please, let us have a decent debate. I'm ready.
Sir, Tom, Dick and Harry coming in a debate of media access and government is not really very logical or a sound argument, sir. So, I just came in when you used that. But sure, go ahead, sir. Journalists are not Tom, Dick and Harrys. We are not asking for any Tom, Dick and Harry to come inside the assembly. But Satya Prakash, continue with your point.
Madam, don't read between the lines. Allow me to complete.
Yes, please.
In any public building, any Tom, Dick and Harry can enter. That is why I am saying this is not a public building. It is a restricted zone. It is a narrow center of the state's administration, where the executive sits, where the legislative sits. And access to people is restricted. Even any person cannot go inside just like that. He has to seek permission, give all his identity and go. And there is no permanent gag on the media. Media is the fourth pillar of the democracy. And this is a narrow center of executive and legislature. How can we keep you out? Only thing is we have to act in synergy is all we are saying. There is a designated place near Kengal's gate. And there the CM, the DCM, the ministers will come and address. We are not saying information from the government will not come to you. Ultimately, it is through you that we have to reach the people. And we know that.
Satya Prakash. Satya Prakash,
journey,
a huge, massive assembly complex. A huge, massive assembly complex. And all you get is a West Portico gate outside where media is going to be positioned to ask the questions that need to be asked, to get access to people who have been elected, to get access to ministers who are in power, to go and even be able to ask them questions. A West Portico gate, one gate outside the assembly. That's all the Karnataka government thinks that a journalist can be positioned in, sir. The Karnataka government is incapable of giving security, ensuring security inside the assembly complex and giving designated spaces if you want decorum inside.
I will tell you.
Sir, Kerala is again, there was a time when Congress was ruling in Kerala. And there was a time when Congress was in other states as well. They brought in restrictions in those places as well. They were designated spaces. The media was not gagged in a way of restricted to only one gate, Satya Prakash.
See, what I'm trying to say is today media is very, very wide. It is not just mainstream media or, visual media.
How wide?
Earlier, there was only visual media and print media. Allow me 1 minute, you'll come to know what is the government's point of view. Today, there are a lot of YouTube channels who are coming. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels. It will be highly difficult for the government to let everyone in. That is why designated places are there.
Sir, designated places are not there, Satya Prakash. That's what I'm trying to explain and that's what I'm trying to get from you and I'm trying to understand. Designated places are not there. There is a designated place outside the West Gate. Go stand there. Go stand there. You want to see the ministers and the MLAs, go stand there. You want to see the CMs, go stand there. We will come to you when you want to. Do not come inside. Do not ask us those irreverent questions. Do not ask us those questions. We don't have time. We will come to you when you want. Congress has been claiming that other governments are doing the same thing, Satya Prakash.
Why are you getting so angry? Don't
Why
get angry.
shouldn't I,
Ultimately,
sir?
you are
I'm a
not-
journalist as well.
Should-
I have walked on those
absolutely.
in those assemblies as well with much decorum. But please
That's
go
okay.
ahead.
That's okay. See, you also you want journalists to roam all around, Vidhana Soudha. You
I
want
didn't
them
say
to
that.
roam in all the
I didn't
chambers.
say that. 4 states. Since you came to me, I'm saying 4 states I have covered elections. I didn't say they should go everywhere. But Vajula, tell me, Vajula, as somebody who is there right now in Bengaluru, as somebody who is covering this, as somebody who's been covering this for a very long time, Vajula, how do you look at what's happening in Congress government, under the Congress government and in Karnataka right now?
With due respect to Mr. Satyaprakash, by stooping the entire argument to Tom, Dick and Harry, he's just lowered the level of the argument itself. He needs to understand one thing, that the fourth pillar in Vidhana Soudha is the media. If there is the government bureaucracy, it's the fourth pillar is us, and it's because of us that we are standing. And we are the permanent members. We're not a government that changes every 5 years. You might just be a rented person sitting in that office for the time being. You will also be changed. We have to understand that it's the media who reports either about BJP, Congress, JDS, or whoever comes to take that office over there. So, calling this an entire argument and stripping
So,
it down to
Vajula, tell me something. What changes for you now? What changes for you?
Don't-
I mean,
don't-
as a
don't talk
journalist,
out
what
of
changes
context.
for you?
we are just at one spot, and a minister can walk by. The police officers will be standing at the entrance. He'll walk by, and if he wishes to talk, like he said, we will. If you want to say something, it will only be through you itself. So if he wishes to talk, he will stop by. If he doesn't wish to talk, and if he cannot take our answers, he'll just walk past and he'll go inside the office. We are not allowed to go ask him questions. We are not allowed to chase him. So this is nothing but gagging them. It's just putting them in one corner.
You should not chase them, no?
Make Satya Prakash sit
How
here
can-
and say you're just going to sit here and not talk. It's gagging Mr. Satya
No, no.
Prakash here, but we are allowing him to talk. Is an indication that he can speak here too. But over there,
See.
we are just made to sit in one corner and not talk, and we are just wait. We are hell-bent. We are at the mercy of the minister. If he wants to talk to us, despite the fact he can be controversial, he can say so many things, he can do whatever he wants, but we have to wait only when he wishes to talk to us. We cannot go and talk to him in the house. And
I
it's
have
a
been
public.
misquoted.
It's not a
Okay,
party office.
okay,
I have-
okay. Ashok
I have-
Gowda,
I have
I know
been-
you're
I have
waiting.
been-
I'll just come to you. But Satya Prakash,
I have been
Satya Prakash, you
misquoted.
just
I have been
said right
misquoted
now,
by
you just
Vajula.
made a
Please,
statement. No, you just made a statement, Satya Prakash. You just made a statement that you want journalists to go everywhere just because you're a journalist. Satya Prakash, nobody is asking for allowing us to chase ministers. Even we are
That's what
against.
Vajula said.
No, sir. As
That is
as
what
a
Vajula
channel,
said, that
we are
in
against.
future we will
We
not
are,
be
no,
able
we
to
are
chase MLAs,
against
we will not be
ministers
able to
or
chase
elected
ministers.
representatives being hounded. We don't believe in that. But what we do believe is allowing the access and allowing the atmosphere, the environment where those questions, which often are seen as uncomfortable and irreverent, will be asked. The truth be said, in the garb of security, what is being done now is that access is being snuffed off from the corridors of power. Yes or no?
See, Koshi, anyway now, the journalists have given a representation to the media advisor to the chief minister. The media advisor to the chief minister, Mr. Prabhakar, has said that he will raise this matter with the concerned people. We are not here to, why I said Tom, Dick and Harry is not to the press persons. I said, Vidhana Soudha is not a public building where any Tom, Dick and Harry can enter is what I said. Please don't misquote me.
Sir, nobody is misquoting. The debate was about journalists. We are
Don't
not
misquote
asking
me in
about
that.
thoroughfare
Don't
and
misquote me. I never called the press persons like that. I have deep
You
respect for the press
responded with
persons.
that while
Yeah.
you were asked a question about access to journalists in assembly, sir. Nobody is asking
No.
about a thoroughfare
I
to
was
every citizen
was
into
referring
assembly.
that point
Nobody is
to
asking
my
that.
friend Basaraj calling
All right, I think
Vidhana Soudha a
you-
public building.
No.
Please don't link both. Okay, this is it. See what
You
I'm telling.
linked
Please
both,
wait
we
for.
didn't. But allow me to go to Ashok Gowda because I'm sure I have to get back to you to respond to him as well. Ashok Gowda, one of the things that you have raised or the BJP has said is about Rahul Gandhi holding the red constitution book. What is the objection that you have with what the government in Karnataka has done now in comparison to that?
See, what the point is very simple. freedom of press and freedom of speech is what Constitution speaks about, and that is what Rahul Gandhi says. I'm here to protect the Constitution. I'm here to protect the Constitution. Whereas when the Congress has protected the Constitution, it's a very simple matter. Whether it was in 1975 emergency, or now, or in several incidents, even in 1984 Sikh rights and several other incidents can be quoted. The point is very simple. Congress is anti-democratic, and Congress does not believe in democracy at all. They believe in somehow get elected, do vote story, and occupy the seat and warm up the seat. And they do not believe in delivery of the goods to the people as they have promised. That is all one point. And point number two is, what is that by doing this kind of a cornering the journalists to one corner in the entire Vidhana Soudha and the entire Vidhana Soudha premises, what is that they are going to achieve? Just because they want to escape from the hard questions, and just because they want to avoid the journalists asking them the questions which are relevant today, and they just want to bug the time, and that is probably that is the agenda. And now the point number three is, and our Satya Prakash ji is a very senior person, and he calls Vidhana Soudha not a public building. Forget about the Tom, Dick and Harry comment. I'm not going to get into that. Of course, Vidhana Soudha is a public building and anybody should enter. My poorest brother should enter. My farmer should enter. My Dalit brother should enter. Why should they not enter? As if it is for elite class people, and as if it is only for the people who are in power. It is for the people who have elected. We have elected the government. My poor brother has elected the government. My farmer has elected the government. My Dalit has elected the government. My women, for sisters have elected the government. It is for them, not for you. You are there to work for them.
Let me
So
ask you a
please
question.
take
Let
back
me
the
ask
word
a question.
saying that Vidhana Soudha is not a public building. It's a public building, and anybody should enter.
Can I come in? Okay.
Are there.
Let me take a challenge.
Okay, Satya Prakash, ask your question. Say what you have to say.
That is why you set the thing and set the timing.
Okay, Satya Prakash, say what you have to
You have
say.
to give an entry to my people.
Sneha.
You have to give an
Go ahead,
entry.
Satya
Like a
Prakash.
gentleman, like a gentleman tomorrow. 1 second, yeah. Like a gentleman tomorrow, all four of you are allowing everyone to enter the Vidhana Soudha. Okay. Listening to all four gentlemen out here, our Siddaramaiah gives an order. Tomorrow, all of them want to enter the parliament. Will Narendra Modi and BJP
You know what, Satya Prakash? Trust you to take that one sentence. I knew it the moment Mr. Ashok made that sentence, you would say this. I knew it, but I will not allow this debate to be derailed. Whether it be from any panelist, I will not allow this debate to be derailed.
Please,
I have a very simple point. Security, very important. Measures in place, very important. Decorum in place, very important. Access being cut off, not done. Media being restricted, not done. No allocated spaces inside the assembly, not done. One area outside Westgate, not done. So don't compare me with whatever any other panelist has said. I am very clear in my stand, and so is my channel, sir. But at this point, I want to ask you a question that the BJP is asking. Satya Prakash, I want to ask you a question that the BJP is asking. BJP is asking, look at Rahul Gandhi holding the red constitution book. Is Karnataka government's step matching with what their leader claims?
See, we don't need lessons. We don't need lessons from a party which didn't abide by the constitution for the last 75 years. You take their demolition of Babri Masjid. You take every of their move, killing of
Satya
Gandhi.
Prakash, if you have an answer. It's a simple question. This is a legendary photograph. This is a photograph which kind of defines Rahul Gandhi's political discourses. Often whenever Rahul Gandhi is discussed, this visual will come up.
That's what
is your government's step in line with what your leader claims to be? Is it in line with that?
I understood your question. You repeated twice. Allow me to answer.
You did not answer, that's why, but go ahead.
Constitution is given by the Congress party to this country. We do not lessons from those who are against Constitution.
Sir, you did not give the Constitution to this country. We, the people of India, Congress did not give us the Constitution. Satya Prakash, Congress did not give us the Constitution. We, the people of India. I can say the entire preamble in front of you. It's on my tongue. Congress did not. Sorry, Satya Prakash, you lost me there. Very quickly, I know there are other two who are waiting at this point. Dr. Basavaraj, go ahead, please respond.
It was Jawaharlal Nehru's cabinet
Sneha.
led by Mr. B.R. Ambedkar, which gave constitution to this country, and the annals of the Indian history has recorded it.
All right, gentlemen. As the name goes, allow Mr. Basavaraj to speak. All right, Ashok and Satya Prakash, allow Mr. Basavaraj to speak. Please go ahead.
I want to understand what was the security threat posed by media presence. What was the security threat? There has to be a certain context to it. There was none. There are people who said Pakistan Jindabad in the corridors of Vidhana Soudha. Did they take any action on that? Wasn't that a security threat? How did cash enter the minister's office? How did gold enter Vidhana Soudha? Isn't that a security lapse? Because media was present there, we could report there is cash, there was gold. That is what is hurting these people. See, I don't need any politician or any government to tell media how media should behave. Where should media stay? That is none of their business. Their business is governance. They're not in the business of preaching the media. Now, what has happened is, erstwhile days, I remember when I used to cover Vidhana Soudha, we used to sit in the media room, and every morning and evening, we would go to each and every minister's office, whether a minister wants to talk something or not. If he had something to say, he would say. Otherwise, he would offer us a cup of coffee and would say goodbye and come. Maybe an informal chit-chat. But that was the camaraderie between the media and the government then. Now, what has happened? Why suddenly this kind of a distrust on media? He says it's not public building. It's public building. That's exactly why public is
All right.
Even in the houses. There is visitors gallery in the assembly and also in
Okay, we're totally out of time. We're totally out of time. Satya Prakash, is the Congress government going to look back and say, all right, we went wrong. This was not well thought of. This was not designed. If you wanted decorum in the house, this had to be done in a different way. The messaging has gone completely wrong. Will the Congress government do that?
We, on our side, we will see what best we can do so that, our friends, media are our friends. They are not put into hardships, point number one. But on the media side also, you all have to understand why the government has taken such a decision. If there are certain protocols that are put in place in a very sensitive place like Vidhana Soudha, there are protocols in Parliament also. There are protocols in Parliament also.
10 seconds
So,
more,
if
Vajula.
today-
I don't have more time. Vajula, 10 seconds. Satya Prakash, I've said this in the past. I don't have any problems with protocols. We are not against protocols. Bring in protocols. Do not cut
media has to
access. Do
understand,
not remove
the
cameras
government
from
is
the corridors
fearful
of power. That's accountability. We still are the fourth pillars. But Vaji, very quickly, 10 seconds.
I accept.
We have to be responsible with what he said. Then they have to understand that we are responsible to answer the questions and why there is confusion between the power. If this is something that you want to hide, you might be saying us. Why there is no money in the government? If these are the questions that you are asking and you don't want that to be answered, that could be one of your reasons for us stopping it. But allowing us to not go ahead is something that is wrong on your end, not at our end.